Hey guys, welcome to Physical Geology. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to the course, help you navigate a little bit, and go from there. So there's some new things for this spring that have not been in some of my online courses in the past, and so I'm kind of getting used to as well. One of those things is a start page up here. I'm used to having a nice picture of some rocks, but instead I've got a picture of the Lord Fairfax Community College's sign, so I hope to change that soon. Anyway, the bottom line is that in this course, we're going to learn about physical geology, the basic things you think about, rocks, minerals, and so forth. We're going to have an OER text. In other words, it's not going to cost you anything. The only thing that costs you is actually paying for the class, which you've probably already done. So we're going to do the best we can. It is a 7-week class, which means we're taking a 15-week class and scrunching it into 7. And of course, that means that we're going to be covering a lot of ground and pretty quickly. I'm going to do the best I can to streamline all of this for you so it's not too overwhelming, but you're going to feel it, right, in a way that you wouldn't otherwise. But you're probably used to that if you've taken 7-week classes before. The key thing is communication. Communicate with me. If you're having trouble with stuff, I mean, the late policy is in the syllabus, and if you're having trouble with things, communicate. I can work with you. But if I don't hear from you, we're just going to go with the late policy, and I'm going to let Canvas go ahead and grade things, or, well, assign the late deductions and so forth. But if you have reasons why things are happening, communicate. Speaking of communication, this video is going to suffice for the first week, but subsequently, Mondays at 8 p.m., I'm planning on having little Zoom sessions. The link for that is in the syllabus. It's my personal meeting room for Lord Fairfax. So I encourage you to avail yourself of that opportunity every week. I know this is not required because this is an asynchronous class, so technically, but I want to make that available to you so that you can. All right, well, let's take a look at what we have going on here with the class. Okay, so if we go here, you start here, you can look at the syllabus, of course, and we'll do that briefly here. The syllabus should load for you without any issues. It is a Google Doc, so it should load in a non-editing form. You can look at the basic information here. Here's the Zoom link that I mentioned. Just scrolling down through here, read some of this stuff. It's pretty standard procedure. You do have the grading here. 40% of your grade is the final project. That I think right now I'm still coming up with what the final version of that will look like, but it's probably going to be a case study. I'm going to have you write a case study because I think it's a lot more interesting than writing a term paper. A lot more images, and it's just, it's a lot more compelling. But you'll have to use what you've learned this semester to inform that. So that's still in a sort of draft form in my mind, but there is an assignment for this first week where you're just sort of thinking about a topic. Okay. 40% of the course is labs, and the other 20% are quizzes. And so that's pretty much how things are broken up. All right. The grading scale is pretty straightforward. And then if we look down through here, you'll see over here, I have the readings all ready for you. I have the due dates over on the right-hand side. And the assignment categories are really general. So really what you're going to need to do is go into the modules to see what's going on with that, because in many ways, I'm redesigning this course to be a 7-week course because it's traditionally a 15-week course. So I'm also moving all the labs online. I've been using a lab manual for a couple of years, but I'm going away from that because then you don't have to buy it, right? So I have to create some of the labs and so forth. So that's going to take some time. So right now, the reading quizzes are pretty accurate as far as those, but the other ones are not. So take that with a grain of salt. Now you're going to go down here and see all these assignments and be overwhelmed. Probably not all these assignments are going to stay there. Some of them are going to be moved around into different modules. You'll see only a few of them right now have due dates, and the first module is pretty front-loaded. Right, so the second module and so forth won't be nearly as front-loaded as this is. But anyway, take some time to go through this. You'll see next week I plan to have all of this worked out. So, all right, if you go to the modules, click on the modules over here, you can go read about me. I need to fill this out yet. There is a class introduction, so I want you to take a few moments just to introduce yourself to the class. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Ideally, a video, but whatever works for you. There's a quick pre-assessment, 10 questions, go through, knock it out, and then you dive into the material. What I will try to do is have some introductory material for each topic, there'll be like, this is plate tectonic theory and introduction to geology. And then our second topic for the week is minerals. And so you're going to have some basic material here. So there's that for the geology basics. There's some basic material for plate tectonic theory, and then some basic material for minerals. And then everything that's an assignment either has one of these icons with a rocket, or has one of these with a rocket. Most of the stuff that has this little icon is just reading, and there's nothing to turn in for that. I just give you a date so that it shows up on the calendar. But I know some students will go to the calendar before they'll go to the module. Just know how it works. So, but yeah, so work through these things. It is going to feel like a lot because this is just a 1 week thing at this point. But the labs will look. Some of the labs are going to be like a virtual field experience. That's what this lab is here. And then there'll be a couple of quizzes based on the readings you're doing. And then the second topic, this mineral lab is, this mineral lab here is actually a more traditional mineral lab. But all the samples are online. It's an online sample set. You'll have to create a spreadsheet that creates the chart. You've probably done mineral identification before, maybe in high school, maybe not. But it's not a difficult thing to do. But as long as you read the chapter on minerals, you should have an understanding you should have enough understanding to be able to do that. Okay, and go from there. So anyway, take the quiz, and then of course brainstorm a topic. I may put this into another category here for final project work, but anyway, those are the highlights. So I hope this was helpful. Please send me emails with questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. So until then, rock on.